government relies on a young workforce to get pension to give to the old people, not in a rude way again. If there is no young workforce, if there's not enough young people working to pay out pensioners, and there's not enough young people to actually physically go and nurse pensioners whilst they're slowly, who's taking care of the old people?
Slowly decaying.
I mean, I told you this ain't a country that's made for old people, is it? If you man don't want to work, then the old people just gonna die in the cold this winter.
Bro, that's why we're not working.
So you can you're trying to kill off old people.
No, don't twist my words like that, bro. I mean, the reason why we're not working and having children, is because, remember, generation after generation, bare kids, bag of children, and they're being bare selfish with it. And each generation after the next, living standards go down. Why am I gonna have a child when I know living standards are gonna go down in the next generation? Like, what's the point? Genuinely, what's the point of me having a child and procreating for me to know I'm gonna be a dickhead and force my children to pay off my pension and do all this fucking?
You know what?
But nobody really sees
hold
it
on,
that way.
one sec. You're gonna go straight after me, Ty. You know, say him and I had a similar conversation last week, right? And Danny was here, but I think it's because of Danny's first time. Danny was just walking the waters, treading it nicely, right? There's two other brothers here. He's saying he don't want any children, right? I'm telling him, sounds loud, it sounds wild to me, bro. And I'm giving him my reasons, but obviously we kind of moved on, so man didn't fully. What do you guys think about what he's saying as a young black
I think
man?
you're gay, blood.
What's your reasons for not wanting kids?
Exactly, brother.
Oh, to you, brother.
No, brother.
You put the gay card instantly,
That's what I'm saying.
Nah, you put it, nah.
Bro.
Let me answer your question. The reason why I don't want children, it's the same reason I'm gonna give to everyone else.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a selfish reason. Why am I gonna have kids? Realistically, what's the benefit of having a child? Other than carrying on my very selfish lineage, I'll have to pay out money to raise the child from 0 to 18. So that's 18 years of my life that I now have to dedicate to this child.
Which is selfless. That part.
That's selfless.
Yeah.
But having a kid is selfish. Because what benefits do I reap from said reward?
If we go by that logic, we're gonna get into a place where we're saying that most things we do as human beings is selfish. Oh, so you can sit up here as much, but makes more sense.
Yes.
So like I said, if we go down that route, we're gonna start saying that.
Now you just made him look like the fucking host, bruv.
It's fine.
Hey guys. Sorry.
Third time lucky. So what I'm saying is that if we go down this road, we're gonna start looking at things that we do as human beings on this planet, and the majority of those things are selfish acts. Do you know what I mean? So we shouldn't we be looking at it that way. There's either selfish acts or there's selfless acts. Having a child can be both. Two things can be right at the same time. So having a child, depending on your reasons as to why having a child, you can say to make your bloodline go on, which can be kind of selfish and selfish depending on how you look at it. You're going to have to look after that child. So that's a selfless act that you're putting your life on hold for that child. So again, it's like you're not obligated morally to have children, but it would be beneficial to us as a species to do so.
Then why don't I just adopt a child? A child that's out there suffering.
You could do that.
Yeah, if I adopt, I'd rather adopt a child than to have a child.
You could do that.
I wouldn't.
There's a lot of children that need it. Like,
Hold on. Let me ask you a question. Why would you work so hard? Right, because I'm guessing you want to amount to something. You want you got targets, goals, and So why would you do all of that to leave it back for somebody else's child that they didn't even want?
Because why am I gonna create another life?
Yeah.
When there are lives out there that are out there suffering
that
due to their parents' bad decision. I'm not saying it's my responsibility. I'm not saying it's my responsibility to take care of someone else's child. But I'm saying.
But you're making it your responsibility.
No, I'm not making it my responsibility.
I'm saying you'd rather take care of somebody else's child than take care of your own child.
I'd rather adopt a child, yes. And I'm not saying if I had a child, I'd rather adopt a child and just, not take it.
That's what gay couples say.
No, bro, just listen. I'm saying if I am currently childless, I would like to remain that way. I'm not going to go out of my way to have children. But if I have a child, obviously I'm going to be taking care of my kid. I don't care what anyone has to say. Like, obviously, father instincts are going to kick in and I'm going to be, thinking my child is the number one priority, full stop.
Yeah.
But seeing as I'm childless right now, I haven't created another life. I haven't put another life out there to go out and experience the world. I know there's other lives out there that are already suffering and whatnot. I'll just take, I'll do my best to take care of what's already out there. Think of it like, I know it's a horrible analogy, but think of it like a dog breeder would, right?
So basically,
would you rather go and get a dog bred or adopt one?
So basically, what you're telling me, you don't mind a woman that's been ran through the streets instead of a woman that's a little bit less ran through.
I'm not talking about women, bro.
Yeah,
I'm not talking about women.
Wow.
Could you try and explain that in a bit more detail?
Wow.
Yeah, even I'm confused, fam.
No, because say what you said a while ago.
I'd rather, if I'm currently childless, as in I do not have any children, I don't have any descendants, I'd rather adopt a child and take care of that child if I'm so inclined to, have children and whatnot, than to have my own. Because don't forget, the woman also has to go through a bit of turmoil and troubles herself. Like,
Can you say that one more time?
Oh, he changed it up.
I would rather
He actually changed it up. That's why my
adopt a
comment made
child.
sense, because he changed it up.
I want to hear you say that you don't want any descendants, because when he said that sounds wild, bruv, in my head I said that sounds fucking insane.
What are your reasons for having children is my question now. Genuinely. Give me one selfless
to cause
reason.
havoc
To cause
on this
havoc.
world. So I can finally take over, maybe 200-300 years from now, but one of these motherfuckers from my seed is going to do it, fam. I promise you, blood. I promise you. Like, this is what I'm saying. Make sure your kids don't meet with my kids, fam.
That's
Get
why
me?
I'm not having children.
We
now.
got
That's
two
another
opposing
reason.
mindsets. My kids will eat you as food.
That's another
blood.
reason, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. My kids will run circle
Bro.
around yours.
Deep it like this.
I've got many reasons for wanting to have kids, but I know one of the most base reason is to help the continuation of civilization and to have my bloodline, which is having a part in there. I was here, I left, and now you're still going to remember me. Considering my children don't adopt the mindset you do.
Question.
You understand?
I have a question.
And right now, the way how I'm dealing with my kids is so they don't adapt a certain type of woke, this day and modern age mindset. Do you understand? Even today, I had to have a serious talk with my oldest daughter, right? Because she's got a boyfriend. And obviously the conversation started differently, but I'm like, you know what, baby girl? Anything you need to know from daddy when it comes to men, boys, you need to call me, talk to me, we'll discuss this. And I dropped it down today. I was like, baby, let me show you one thing that you need to decide in life. Most men are going to cheat. I'm not saying the guy that you're with is going to do that, right? But you need to...
Uncle Spartan will chat to him.
You need to understand what position you want to play or going to play. So either you're going to be the main chick or you're going to be the side chick. You understand where I'm coming from? You need to choose. It be. So I'm making sure, so even when they tell me about kids, I don't squash the idea and I don't disregard it and nothing like that. I don't want them to think, no, it's a bad thing. No. You understand? I make them know, listen, regardless if you're out here in life, you're taking from life, you also have to fucking give back. And you don't just give back talking about, oh, I'm just working for society. No, you give back life. You're taking life, you give back life.
Can I just say quickly, how you guys would, describe giving back, my giving back is dying. What little I took from the earth, I'm just going to deep it. What little I took from the earth, I'm going to give back in terms of my body.
That went dark,
bro. You didn't
But
give
here-
back
Can I
the
say
earth
one
nothing.
thing? Can I say one thing?
I'm giving back the earth my body.
No.
You didn't
Can
give
I
back
say
the earth
From
nothing.
ash to ash, dust to dust.
You
yo,
didn't give the earth nothing
fam.
back. You didn't
Let me
fulfill
tell you
the
something. Let me tell you something.
Go on.
A life for a life.
For hundreds of thousands of years,
You gave the earth death, not life.
maybe even millions of
No.
years, bro.
I lived.
What?
Hey,
Bro, I
Alias, one sec. For hundreds of thousands of years, yeah, of like the modern human, fam.
It's scientifically proven. As humans, we forget a lot of things. Let me help to remind you. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and tell a friend to tell a friend.
Yeah, we've lived by a certain set of rules, and then God came down and gave some more rules, and we live by them rules. And one of the fucking rules is go forth and procreate. Why do you feel like you're so special to break that, bruv?
I'm not saying I'm so special to go against the status quo, but that's
No.
not my status quo,
I never
bro.
said status quo. The status quotient is nothing to do with it. I'm talking about what human beings are created to do.
Bro, if that's how you guys feel, you must.
No.
Biologically, let me put it this
Biologically,
way.
I'm not talking about feeling. It's biology. What we're
We're not talking
created
about
to
feelings
do.
here, bro.
How we multiply. Like, see cells. Yeah, you're a man of science. Cells divide.
I'm aware.
You can't divide. The only way for you to divide is to
I'm not
impregnate.
asexual. Yeah, I know. You have
get
to
what I'm
have
saying?
another human to mix your DNA,
Right.
and then yeah.
So
but
let me show you something. You see, even me, yeah, I can't lie. Most 90% of the gal I breed, I'm like, yo, I wish man would breed you right now, fam. I always get that feeling, fam. Yeah, that's the nigga in me, fam.
what is wrong with you,
Yeah,
bro?
that's the raw nigga in me, fam.
You need help.
Yeah,
Negro.
I'm telling you straight, bruv. Yeah, but me, I'm like, Spartan, not yet. Wait, fam. What's wrong with you, blood? You got time, fam. Chill out. But I'm going to. Do you get what I'm saying? You telling me flat out, like, I got 14 years on you, my brother.
Yeah.
So from this day to the day you're my age, I've took 14 years and still ain't had no use. But I'm still saying I'm going to. I've never once ruled out, I'm going to break my family's tradition and I'm not going to have any kids
Here's
and
the
carry on
thing.
my bloodline.
If you listen to what I was saying, I never ruled it out completely. I said, if I were to have a you, of course I'm going to take care of my child. I'm going to make sure my child gets.
You said you
everything.
don't want kids.
I don't want them. Not wanting something and saying and ruling something out completely is two separate things. Two separate.
I ain't
things.
never heard no one have money and
Let
say
me
they
ask
don't
you a
want
question.
money.
Have you got siblings?
Of course.
Huh?
Of course.
So you're counting on your siblings to carry on the bloodline.
Bro, there's 7
So
of them.
let me ask you a question. What if there was just you alone? Would you opt
Still
for the
gonna-
same decision?
Look, bro.
To just end
Look at okay.
to just end your family, your mom and your dad's bloodline just right there with
It's
just
not
you.
even that, bro. Look at the world that I've been handed.
Yeah.
Right?
You
I
ain't been
can't afford
handed
that.
shit.
You ain't
bro.
been handed nothing,
You ain't
bro.
been handed
We
shit.
all popped
Bro,
out the same
bro,
as you,
here's the
thinking,
thing.
what
let
the
me show you
fuck is
something.
going on?
Let me show you
Bro.
something. Let me show you something. You ain't, brother. You ain't even amount to be a drop in the ocean yet.
That's not.
You ain't.
that's
You
not the point,
you
bro.
literally ain't even had no input in the world,
Bro,
and one input you could have
You're still on the tutorial,
is
blood.
potentially raising a prime minister or president or somebody that can amount to be something great on the planet.
I
You
think
understand?
I think he meant look at the world he's been put into.
There you go.
That would
That's
make
what he
more
meant.
sense.
Because I've been handed a world where I can't afford a house, no matter how hard I work.
Start over again.
Okay,
You ain't
I've been
handed
put into
shit.
I've been put into
Man
a
talking
world.
like he's the man of this planet.
I've been put into a world where I can't buy a house easily. I can't find a job easily. No, not yet. Not yet. Just give me 5 minutes. Yeah.
5 minutes is a
5
long
minutes,
time.
5
That's a
minutes.
monologue, fam.
I
Hurry
don't
up.
care. 5 minutes.
Shorten it.
I can't find a job as easily.
Yeah.
Women are expecting way too much from men nowadays as well. Men are being demonized on a crazy scale.
Oh,
You
so
feed it now.
you're
You want a
basically
solution?
operating under the guise of fear.
Not even the
He's
guys
doing
of
the gal
fear.
thing,
No,
bro.
You're
nah,
telling me right
nah.
now you're
Not even-
operating under the guise of
No.
fear.
I've
And
never
the way
gone to
how-
war with you, bro.
My brother's right. The way how you just broke it down,
the
and
gal
I'm not
thing.
calling you that, and I'm not saying you are that. I'm just saying it sounded very feminine,
That's the gal-
especially the way how
I
you
keep
broke
saying
it
that's
down.
the gal thing.
And it sounds like you're coming from a fear standpoint.
Not even a fear
instead of-
standpoint. No,
instead,
no.
Instead of it's like practical. It's like probable. You understand?
I'm
Like,
basing it off
you're
of the
talking
past, bro. That's
possibility.
why. No, I'm
What
basing it off
past?
the. Look at the past.
You
50
ain't had
years.
a past.
No, not my past. The world's history.
Why
The
are you
world's
looking at the
past.
fucking world,
Because
bruv?
the world repeats itself every 100 years or so.
And
At the start of every century, is there not a fucking pandemic?
I
The
don't.
start- sorry. The
bruv,
start of the 19th century, was there not a pandemic? Start of the
The
20th century.
human modern day genome is 160,000 to 210,000 years old, bruv. I don't know about fucking every 100 years since then. I know about every 100 years since a certain group of people took control of the world in the West. I know about that, and I know about history previous to that. You understand what I'm saying? So the cycle ain't repeated every 100 years. It's repeated every 100 years since we've had this mainstream shit. You understand what I'm saying? And we can only trace that back 300 years.
It's copied itself 3 times, bro. And even regardless,
It's copied
of
itself 3
that, and
times
bro,
out of
regardless
100,000
that-
years.
Regardless of that, there is a trend that's being followed right now.
The thing is, what you're saying can be passed as logic. You know what I mean? You're saying that the situation the world's in right now is not conducive to bring another human being onto this planet.
Yeah.
I understand that, but the reason why we're able to have these thoughts is because we're complex creatures. But every single living organism that's conscious on this planet, their prime goal is to replicate themselves,
But the
which
only
is to reproduce. That's the basic needs of survival that we have, because our DNA wants to continue. We procreate, or if you're a single cell organism, you're gonna divide yourself and replicate yourself like that way. But because we're now complex creatures, we have the ability, and because we live so comfortable, we have the ability to be like, I don't want kids. But 300 years ago, it wasn't even going to be a question, because everything was about survival. And the fact that you're in the position of wanting to survive, you procreated, you had children for your bloodline to continue. But now, because we're living so comfortable, we're able to be like, I don't want kids.
Look,
and that's
bro.
fine. You don't have to have kids. Do you know what I mean?
Ty, even in the last like 100 years ago, this wouldn't have been an option, bruv. If you could have kids, you 19, 20, 21, we gonna marry you off with a 65-year-old dude that's got money, and you gonna bore him as many kids as possible. Bro, you're not really understanding. Like, what you've done is you've proved the phenomenon of Universe 21.
Look, guys.
Beautiful males.
Look, that's what I'm trying to say.
yo,
This is what you've done.
what's this agenda you're trying to push, bro?
It's not an agenda I'm trying to
That's
push.
an
It's an
agenda, bro.
experiment.
No, that's an agenda.
No, it's an
Yeah, it was an
experiment. That
experiment.
actually
That's an
happened.
experiment that
No,
you've just
you're trying to
proved as
push
a
an
product.
agenda, bro.
Look at my grandparents, right?
Go on.
I think you said earlier. You said it's not easy at this time to make kids.
I read, keep the camera on them, yeah?
Yeah. Look at my grandparents. My grandparents from both sides. So from my mother's side and my father's side, they both have about 9 to 10 kids. So I have 20 uncles and 20 aunties in total. I have about 50 cousins, right? All in first degree, at about 200 of first, second degree, right? So how did they make kids in a time where Albania was in pure communism, like North Korea? I'm not joking, where you cannot listen to music from outside Albania. You were imprisoned, killed. You couldn't have religion. Everyone changed his surname. The time was rough, bro. Kids had weapons, Kalashnikovs in their hand at 8 years old, without harms. Walking, smoking at 10 years old, driving, doing the worst shit. This was a hard time. So how cool they had all of their kids and no one died, all healthy. No one, how could that be the case, right? It could be luck, yeah, as well. But believe me, we are in the best time now to actually make kids. We had issues. People could fight for these things. If your problem is actually like finances, all of these things,
Suited, fam.
it's a
Camera switch. Bro, you know what it is?
I agree.
Let me
You know
show.
what? The way he told that story, he sounded like Russian mafia immigrant fam, and I love that. Clip that, blood.
I had the issue. I saw problems in the past. When I was a kid, I saw war. I was in war. That was not great. But I saw so many people, family, like,
Still having
members.
kids.
So everyone having kids, tons of kids, and no one had issues actually. Kids is what makes you better. They teach you even stuff.
Yeah.
They make you like those lacks that you cannot have because it's something so different to have. I don't have kids, but I can imagine something so different to have. It's not like an object, it's a new toy, it's like the best toy, the best thing ever you could technically have.
I feel like
Also, sorry, but also, a lot of people say this as well. When you have kids, you don't really die. You still remain on this earth because your kids are part of you.
But what if I've already served my purpose? I've already served my own purpose, and I'm done.
Brother, you're just very selfish.
How is
what
not
your
having
purpose?
children selfish?
You're
It's a life that hasn't been created yet. They don't exist.
Brother,
They
Brother.
don't exist. Why am I going to make them exist?
Brother.
They didn't consent to being born exactly.
Brother.
I didn't consent.
Are you lazy? What, you don't want to
Not
put
even
in no
I'm
work?
lazy, bro.
What? You have no love. You have
It's
no
not
soul.
even about that.
You get me? What? You have nothing you want
It's
to
not even
pass
about
on to
that. Hear
something
it.
that's yours. Literally your
listen,
image.
Listen, I get that. But
So, bro, let me ask you a question. What are you doing here in this world and taking up resources and space where somebody else could be having it?
bro, I'm here the same way you're just here, bro.
No,
bro. I want to have
I
kids
just
in the
spawned
next
in.
4
That's
years. I
you.
need your
I just
resources.
spawned in, bro.
Give me your food.
I just spawned in and you ain't taking my food.
The difference is I want to be here. The difference is I know
me your
life is
food. My
crazy
food.
and I know life is hectic
fight.
and I know life is messed
Actually,
up.
our box.
Yeah,
Bro,
me.
my food.
But brother, let me show you something. As my man said, this is probably the best time out there to probably have kids. Actually, maybe a few
100%.
years ago. Yeah, right? But there've always been wars. There've always been poverty. There've always been disease.
That's a
You
problem that needs to
understand?
be fixed, bro.
They've-
That's not a fact of life.
You see, that's that's the thing. They're
It's
all,
not.
it's all,
Isn't selfish
It's a
actually
problem.
not having children. Mr.
Huh?
Worst Yapper just commented. It's not having children isn't selfish. Just
bro. Why don't you just?
That's
put
what
the
I'm
comment on
saying.
the
It's not
screen?
selfish, bro.
Yeah, put a comment on the screen so we can see,
like
fam.
this guy, bro.
Like, let's see the comment, bro.
Okay, yeah. It's probably only when you're on the stream, isn't it?
So having kids is not selfish.
What did the comment say? Oh,
So-
not having kids,
Kids isn't selfish. Yeah.
It depends on the reasons as to why people want kids. Because some people have kids so they can be a burden on their kids when they're older, and that's the wrong reason to have kids.
I just feel like if you want to have children, I'm not stopping. I'm not saying to other people, don't have children. It's a negative thing to do. But the whole idea of having children is just romanticized to the extreme. I don't like that.
How is that
That's
romanticized?
the same way how you guys would say that there's certain agendas being pushed. I think that's an agenda being pushed, and I'm not accepting
Having
that.
kids is an agenda being
Bro,
pushed.
I'm not accepting that. I'm not
Aye,
being
Mr.
I'm not
Worst.
being put into a
Aye,
box.
Mr. Worst. You
I'm
see
not
what
being
you've
put into a
caused.
box.
You've
I'm not
literally come.
accepting that,
You've
simple
literally
as.
come and validated what this guy is saying, and you're hearing this
They're
madness,
trying to push
Mr.
They're
Worst.
trying to push an agenda on me, bro. Don't let it happen.
What?
It's an
Don't they-
agenda to have kids.
Yes, your agenda.
Society, listen. If it's an agenda,
It's
and
not an agenda to have kids. It's
Listen,
an agenda to try and change my mind about
if
having
it's
kids.
an
It's my
agenda
choice,
for
bro.
society to push having kids,
I'm
bro,
not-
that's
bro.
one agenda I agree with, and I'm not fighting
Bro,
against.
all I'm saying is, it's my
That's
choice.
all I'm saying.
Listen, if you want to go out there and have as many children as you want
No,
to,
I'm not saying it's not your choice. I'm just trying to understand from your point of view why such a selfish.
how many people are there in this world right now? 8 billion, right?
And you're gonna tell me some dumb shit
No,
that
I'm
we're
not gonna say some dumb shit.
overpopulated.
No, not even overpopulated, bro. The Earth could like double in the next 2 years, and we'll have more than enough resources to cover that. Like more than enough land.
So why are
food. It's not,
so why are we deficient? So why are we deficient in the birth rate? Where it's
Capitalism.
like now 1.5 kids every household more or less.
capitalism, bro. Look at China. They overworked their workers
So
to the
it's
point where
capitalism.
they don't. Bro, okay. Look at Japan and
It's
China.
capitalism,
No.
or
Listen,
is it
listen.
people like you
No,
selfish
no,
motherfuckers say
no,
they
listen.
don't want to have kids? Blame it on capitalism,
I'm
or
not
is it
blaming
selfish motherfuckers that you
I'm
that
not-
have the
no.
opportunity and the option to have kids
Crash
saying
out,
you
nigga.
don't want to fucking have kids? But next
see,
minute
I'm
we're
not
gonna
crashing
blame
out.
it on
I'm not crashing out.
communism.
I'm not blaming nothing on communism.
And
I'm saying
next it's gonna be
bro.
capitalism.
Listen, it's a byproduct of capitalism. Why people aren't having children? Not
It's
my
probably
choice.
gonna be the Bible next,
listen,
right?
listen. It's
And
not
feminism.
No, bro.
Crash out,
This is what I'm
crash out,
talking
crash
about.
out.
Listen,
He's
right?
correct. He is correct.
I'm not saying the reason I'm not having children isn't capitalism. Is capitalism, sorry, but the reason why the birth rate is lower in countries like the UK, Japan, not North Korea, South Korea,
Universe
China.
21. Universe 21, the pretty boy effect.
Shut up. But the reason why the birth rate is lower down there, capitalism, right? People are being overworked to the point where the thing that they're prioritizing is economic growth.
Fuck, someone missed
Right?
the words,
So
comment
they
on
made a
screen.
baby boom, they industrialized like crazy, they exploited the populace until they had enough money to, actually grow and have something tangible. But now their populace is overworked to the point where they're like, bro, fuck this. I'm here grinding 9 hours a day, 6 days a week, and I'm not, there's nothing for me. Why am I gonna go out there and have children? I've worked.
You know the slogan. I'm just a messenger. Don't shoot. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and tell a friend to tell a friend.
My guys are 13 and will fuck with pagans. My guys are 13 and will fuck with pagans.